Hey everyone, welcome to Sudbury Interviews. Today we have Lisa Jones. She's the general manager of the Hilton Garden Inn Hotel in Sudbury, and that's the one beside the keg on the Kingsway. Just before we begin, you can find us on sudstown.com and join the conversation. Hey Lisa Jones, how are you?
Hey, Danny, I'm doing great. How are you doing?
I'm doing really well. Thanks for coming on the show. We've been trying to get our schedules together for little while, right?
Yeah, well, thanks for having me.
It's a real pleasure. So, to start out, because you guys have a lot going on down there at the Hilton Hotel, we're going to talk about music and food today. But can you tell us a little bit about your um, journey of becoming a general manager of a hotel? Because that seems like a really big responsibility to me.
Yeah, it sure is, and it's kind of a neat little journey, and wasn't even one that was planned, but sometimes those are the best scenarios. So, I was a former director of sales at a hotel up the street from the Hilton. And the owner of the Hilton actually came in to the hotel looking for breakfast. He was late and he was on his phone talking to somebody. So I had went in the back in the kitchen and grabbed him some food and warmed it up for him and brought him up a coffee and an orange juice. And I took my business card and I wrote on the back of the business card, hi, nice to meet you. My name's Lisa. If you need anything else, just send me a text. And lo and behold, this was back in 2013, and he was just starting the very beginning stages for the Hilton, and he was talking to his wife, and he said, I found our GM for the Hilton, because he was really looking for somebody very service orientated and kind of heart centered, and somebody very genuine. I had no idea who he was. I had never met him before, and that's kind of how our journey started. And I was hired in 2019 as the general manager, and we opened in 2021, and it was pretty crazy. And we opened right in the middle of COVID as well, and I was right involved with construction. There was only one floor of the hotel when they hired me, so I can read a set of blueprints now from top to bottom and front to back, and it was quite the learning experience, and definitely one I wouldn't trade for the world. And we have 95% of the team, the construction team that we opened the hotel with, still works at the hotel, and we will be 5 years old February of 2026. So it goes fast.
How many rooms do you have there?
We have 120, 60 double queens, which are really great for the families and the sports teams, and 60 king suites. Three of those are, they call them executive suites with a seating area, a beautiful couch area, and we only have three of those, but we're sold out. 89% of the time we're sold out. So the hotel's been well received for sure. Great location as well, close to shopping and all sorts of other entertainment and all that sort of good stuff. So people like that they can park their car and walk a lot of places and get what they need. Very handy.
Does it generally go up in luxury as you go up in floors? Like the is that a myth out of the movies or is that true?
Well, it's funny because in this day and age where a lot of people are really, everybody counts their steps now, right? Every second person has an Apple Watch on or stepper on their wrist. So it's quite funny. A lot of people will ask for a lower floor now, the second or the third, because they want to do the stairs. Well, it's quite a bit if you're doing six flight of stairs, walking up and down type thing. We're also pet friendly, so our second and our third floor are designated for your pet. We have a lot of our regular clientele that travel with their dogs, some with their cats, but mostly with their dogs. And if you're working all day, we'll let your dog out. We'll feed your dog. I've puppy sat dogs. We've kind of done it all type thing. But in answer to your question, as you go up, our hotel's layered, so the floors kind of replicate themselves, if you will. But there's no doubt some people, my brother included, definitely likes the fifth or the sixth floor. I think it's a mindset thing more than anything. But yeah, everybody's a little bit different in what they like. Some people like to be on the sixth floor because they feel like they won't hear anybody walking on their head. But it's like a big concrete Lego set, so it's pretty soundproof for sure. But definitely there are those people still that do like the higher floors for sure.
So the restaurant downstairs is called the Garden Grill. Is that correct?
Yes, the Garden Grill restaurant. Yes.
So that's a part of the hotel, like the same management, same ownership, or is it separate?
Yeah, no, it's all part and parcel. It's the Garden Grill restaurant is the name of the Hilton Garden Inn brand. We again, as I had mentioned, we had opened during COVID, so it was even a little up in the air if we were going to open with the restaurant because things were so uncertain. But we did, and probably about 6 months after we opened, we found Chef Alfred Estevan, who is an amazing chef, amazing leader, and just really a good, genuine human being. He's like a celebrity. The guests come in, he comes up to the table and talks to them. He's very personable, very genuine, very down to earth. So we were really, really lucky to connect with him and his beautiful family. They took a chance. He moved from London, Ontario, up here with his little girl at the time was only 6 months old and his fiance, and they love Sudbury. They love the family life here and everything, and they definitely love the team that we have as well. You know, really at the end of the day, it's just a building. It's a really pretty building. Once you put the team in place with all the experience and everything that we have and how well we gel together, that's really the magic. That's the magic sauce right there. And Chef was what he's brought along with his team. It's just really blown Hilton out of the water because, you know, we're not burgers and fries, although you can get that and it's really, really good. We're actually doing burger wars right now. You can get anywhere from a steak to, you know, a Creole, you know, prawn pasta and everything in between. He's a Lebanese descent, so you definitely get that Lebanese flair in there as well. We have a Ukrainian in the kitchen, German. We have every culture back there, and they all bring something literally to the table, and it's really quite beautiful. People still say when they come in, I feel like I'm somewhere else. I don't feel like I'm in Sudbury right now. I feel like I'm somewhere else. And we still have people saying, I didn't even know this was here. You know, I didn't realize they could come in here and eat. I thought you had to be a guest of the restaurant. So people are still discovering us, which is really cool.
Yeah, so you mentioned Burger Wars. So tell us a little bit about that. Like, is that happening now still?
Yeah, so it's for the month of July, and there are several participants across the city involved with this. And $3 from every burger goes to a charitable organization here in town. Jenna actually organizes the whole thing, and it's truly burger wars. We have, you know, celebrity folks come in and try out the burgers. They do blind taste testing, all sorts of stuff.
Hmm.
So it's just a really good cause to get behind. You know, it's summertime. Everybody likes a good tasty burger with, you know, a heaping amount of you know, fresh home cooked fries, and it goes towards a good cause as well. So it's the third year we've been involved, and you know, just really happy to be part of something that gives back to the community as well.
Yeah, that sounds really good. So the menu, the dinner menu, is that created by your head chef, or is it a community effort, or how did it come together, the menu?
Yeah, it's a great question. For the most part, our leader and coach in the kitchen is our chef, and he's kind of the brains and the passion behind the menu. With that being said, he recently updated our menu. And we really listened to what the guests were responding really well to, what they wanted more of, and whatnot. So he's tweaked it slightly, and pricing's always a lot of fun right now. So you're trying to go with that as much as you can and work with it in the parameters that people can still come out, have a really beautiful meal, and not feel like they're breaking the bank type thing. So it's a little tricky to navigate. Chef's got years of experience, so he's definitely not new to this. So he knows how to kind of work the market and what people are really going to love and enjoy type thing. And like I said, he's there. He comes out. He talks to the guests. So that interaction means a lot to people too. It's almost like I always say the guy in the white jacket is. It's almost like better than a doctor walking out to your table. It's the chef, and he's got this lovely. He's from Lebanon. He's from the French colony part. He's got this lovely Parisian French accent, just ever so lightly that you can hear it. And he's very kind and he's very gentlemanly. So people really do connect with him, and they really appreciate that the chef came to their table. Like it means so much to people, to do that. So we're lucky we have a whole team that is very interactive with the guests. So, just coming out and saying hello, from our front desk manager, Murray, our sales manager, like they're all just lovely. They truly love what they do, and it really shows and people can feel it. That's the number one compliment we get at the hotel, that people just feel so welcome there. It's the feeling they get when they walk through the door, which is the whole goal.
Yeah, and so when people stay over, do you guys, let's say I'll give you a scenario. Somebody shows up with like a 200-pound dog or two of them, and they're welcome to come into the
Yep,
hotel. No problems?
no problem. So there's no weight limit on the pet friendly side of it. You're talking to a GM who's a huge dog lover, and I've had several breeds from small to large. My daughter and son-in-law have a Great Dane. And one of the things they say, they travel a lot for hockey. They're like, we can never bring, Hank because he's like a mini horse type thing. So we actually have a lady that comes quite regularly to the hotel. And lo and behold, she does travel with a Great Dane. And we're one of two hotels, and she travels all the time for work, that she can actually bring her dog to. So she really appreciates that. Yeah, there's a small fee for it, nothing too crazy. And it means a lot. It means a lot to people. A lot of younger people now are, they're adopting dogs and not having kids. So those are their kids. So the fact that they can bring them with them means a lot. And that will take the extra step to make sure that if they need to be let out, you're at a wedding all day or whatever, we'll text you a picture of your little guy or what. We do those extra steps that, your pet is your family at the end of the day.
Oh yeah, most definitely. You mentioned one of two hotels. So having pets is not a common thing. I really don't know. Like, is it?
No, so there's a select few. There's probably 20% of hotels that are pet friendly. It's up to the brand to a certain extent, and then it's up to the general manager that's running the property as well if they want to flip it over to pet friendly. I just found in my experience working at the other hotel, more and more people were traveling. We were opening during COVID, so it was very uncertain times. So if people could bring their dog from home and at least have that, if they had to travel for work because it was essential, at least if they could bring their four-legged fur baby from home, it was a little bit of security during very uncertain times type thing. We provide you with a treat bag for your room and a water bowl and water for your dog for the room and all that sort of stuff. So we really tried to, it's heartstrings, right? It's, when you can connect with people's hearts on a level that's deeper than just renting them a room, that's why we're in the business. That's why we do what we do, and that's why we love doing what we do.
It sounds like you're really customer centric focused, which is a great thing.
Yes, yeah, we sure are.
So, we're going to talk about music in just a second. But do you guys do hall rentals as well for events? I'm just curious.
Yes, yeah, great question. So we do have three banquet space. We can do weddings up to, actually, as a matter of fact, one of my best friend's sons getting married at the hotel the first weekend of August, wedding of about 85 people. So that's kind of a sweet
Wow.
spot for us. Um, and we found again since COVID, wedding sizes have really shrunk down a lot. I think people kind of realized during COVID, oh, I don't need half the world at my wedding, and it could still be really fun and really nice and a lot more affordable as well. So we have a wedding decorator actually that works the front desk. So when there's weddings or baby showers or anything like that, Sharon is always on and available, and she assists in any way, shape, or form that they like. That's a service that we offer. There's no charge for that. Sharon loves it. She's very good at it. So we deal with a lot of, you know, meetings during the week, health and safety meetings, hydro, CN rail, like all these, hard hat companies type thing that need to get their training and meetings done. They feel it's good to be off site. We provide the lunches. We have a banquet menu that we provide. We'll work with your budget guidelines and all that sort of good stuff. We work with around your meeting times and all that. We have banquet staff that's been doing banquets for over 30 years. Again, so they're very, very seasoned. When to go into the room, when not to enter the room. All those little things that you learn over time.
Hmm.
We've been through it type thing, so we have decades of experience with it. So yeah, we have three really beautiful meeting rooms, two of them with natural light, very
Wow.
beautiful. Next time you're there, I'll show you around actually, Danny.
Is that when you walk in to the right by the bathroom, like, or toward where the bathrooms are? What?
Yeah, so to the right is the conservatory that holds up to 20 people.
Wow.
And behind where you would sing, that's the Kingsley room. That's
Oh,
the
that, yeah, there's a big room back there. I've never even seen it.
There is, yeah, there is,
Right.
there is.
Okay.
And then right behind the bar is a smaller banquet room, and that'll hold up to
Wow.
10 to 12 people. And it gets used quite often.
Well, that was a well-kept secret because I've been there for a few years and I never even knew about that. Cool.
Right. Well, there you go. So lesson learned on our side too. Never assume that people just know. Right.
Yeah.
Like I said, everybody's still discovering the place for sure.
Yeah, I remember watching it being built, and I think it was like 2018, 19, some years, and I was wondering what it was, and I didn't know. I thought it was an apartment
Yeah.
building, really. So,
Yeah. It
all
was
right.
a mystery for a number of years for people.
So tell us now about your music program that you have there. I think you have something pretty comprehensive going on, like a weekly schedule.
Yes, we do. So as soon as the world started to open up and COVID restrictions were being lifted, the first thing we did that Wednesday is we brought in music. And the reason we started off with Wednesdays is Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, the hotel is always sold out. There's a lot of corporate in, there's a lot of crews, and it's a really great way to break up the week for the clientele staying in the hotel. So the thing is we have a captive audience. We have 120 rooms that are full on those nights type thing. So a lifelong friend of mine, Rod Bedzinet, I had reached out to him and connected with him, and we started off on music nights, and then it grew from there. We added the Friday night, and now we've kind of stayed consistent with it, the Wednesday and the Friday night, 6:30 to 9:30, and it's really caught on. It's Friday nights are to the point where sometimes there's a lineup out the door, which is a really really great opportunity and wonderful challenge to have. And it just goes to show you that, word of mouth does catch on. And like people still say, it is Sudbury's best kept secret. There's no doubt about it. So it's a fun, lighthearted atmosphere, as you know. We really enjoy having you there too, Danny and Keith. You're great. And that's kind of the vibe. The vibe that we're looking for is the guitar and maybe a keyboard and, nothing too loud, nothing too crazy, all the sing-along songs and all that,
Yeah.
Everybody loves, that we grew up on, that, our kids listen to our music, because it's good sing-along music that, again, touches the heart and the soul, right? So we got a great group of people that we rotate, on a regular basis. And, so far, so good type thing. And definitely something we're going to continue on with. Good, beautiful music, good food, lovely atmosphere. You bring those three together, and it's a winning combination, really.
So it's 2 nights a week, like all year long.
Yeah, all year long. Yeah, yeah,
That's fantastic. I don't know
yeah,
if there's many places that do that anymore. So kudos to you guys.
yeah, yeah. Thank you.
Yeah, again, it
We
just
enjoy it.
goes to show that you really care about your clientele and want them to have a great time, with the food, the music, and everything. So you're saying that your busy nights are Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, like the hotel business. Is that how it works?
Yeah, the hotel business. Yeah, and you know what? It's funny. It's been like that in Sudbury for a good 15, 16 years, and there's a lot of. I always say there's a lot of white trucks in the parking lot, and work boots and hard hats that walk through the front door, because it's a lot of the trades that come in. They kind of, they didn't really promote that in Sudbury for years, and then so all of a sudden we had to bring in trades from all over. And there's a lot of construction, a lot of building going on, a lot of infrastructure changing at the mines and stuff. So that's all construction. So you need a lot of boots on the ground to make that happen, and you need a lot of manpower to make that happen. So they bring those guys in. Along with that come the corporate salespeople, sales ladies, all that sort of good stuff. So it's a combination, really, of corporate and the trades type thing. But again, that Wednesday night for the music, we've had people even adjust their travel schedule for Sudbury to make sure they're here on Wednesday night, because that's how much they like the music. Because they look forward to it. We're human, we're spiritual. We need something to look forward to, and they look forward to coming
Yeah.
to the hotel, to the Hilton, to have a night out. Like, what I mean? It ends at 9:30, so it's not crazy late. It's just, and you're right there at the hotel. So it's a nice way to break up the week. Everybody works really hard, so it's nice to have some unwind time as well.
Yeah, people definitely need rewards in life.
Yes.
And there was
Yeah.
one night that I was laying in my bed a couple of years ago. Well, about probably 7, 8 years ago. The kids weren't with me, and I just decided to get up and get in my car and go stay in a hotel, because I love hotels. I always have. I love the vibe. I love everything about hotels. And I went and stayed in a hotel in Sudbury for no reason a little
Yeah.
while ago. Yeah. So have you ever had anybody?
Staycation, right?
Yeah,
Staycation. A lot of
yeah.
people do it.
You don't got to go too
Yeah.
far. Have you ever seen that before?
Yeah.
It's like Sudbury people show up
Absolutely.
for real. Yeah.
Especially when we open, because guess what? We opened right smack dab in the middle of the pandemic, and people were craving to go somewhere, and nobody
Yeah.
could go anywhere unless you had to, right? So people would come to the hotel, and now we had a restaurant, and you could go sit at the bar and have a drink. And even when everything was shut down inside and we only had the patio. We extended into the parking lot. All these crazy things we did, just like everybody else, to try to make ends meet. We made the best of it, like everybody else did. We got the Italian lights and all that, and got the music going and all that sort of good stuff. So the staycation, I'm going to say for the first year and a half, 2 years that we were open, we had an awful lot of that type thing. Valentine's Day that just passed
Yeah.
landed on a Friday, and we were sold out for that Friday and Saturday night. I think we're sold out almost 3 months in advance for the hotel and the restaurant. And we actually had Naked Soul play, Dee and Brian, because they're a beautifully married, happily married couple who have this great love story. So I'm like, hey, would you guys, as soon as I realized it landed on Friday, I reached out to her right away. And I said, would you come in and sing as beautifully as you do, but tell your story in between songs, because their story is so cool and they're high school sweethearts. So people loved it. It was great, and they felt very honored, and we were really honored to have them too. So it's just nice to be able to do that, to have those connections in town too. And I think along the way we have developed some respect in the community and stuff like that. With folks like yourself, like musicians, really, you guys had to give up a lot too. I mean, you could still play at home by yourself, but, you guys like to perform in front of people and all that. So it was an honor for us too to be able to bring out Rod Bazinet, yourself, like all these wonderful folks to just say, hey, could you play for us? If there's 2 people, 3 people, 5, 10, 20, we'll sit and we'll listen. And when you're done that song, we'll certainly make sure we clap. Well, I always tell the staff when I'm there, I say, when they're done their song, you clap as loud as you can, because that means more to them than anything. Because they're here to honor and serve us, we got to honor and serve them as well. So, yeah, no, it's just cool. It's a great connection all the way around, right? How lucky are we?
Yeah, I completely agree. So this is the daily segment. I don't know why I called it that, but it's a question that I ask every guest on the show. You're the 11th guest now, so episode 11. What is one thing that you feel would make Sudbury greater?
Oh, gosh. Huh. That is a loaded question. You know what? One thing I think that would make Sudbury greater is, we probably need to start what we finish. We have some stuff, downtown and things like that. We just need to see things through, and promises that were made and all that stuff. We need to follow through with that, because all that, no matter where stuff ends up, everybody's going to win, because I believe there's an abundance for everybody type thing. And we just need to follow through, and we need to help some of the folks that need our help. We have a crisis right now. We have an epidemic. We need to maybe switch up some stuff. Maybe we got to do something like bring a Salvation Army or something. We need to put our hand down so we can lift people up and not forget. We need to stay humble, and we need to stay kind. I think, and I think Sudbury does a pretty good job of that, but we need to do that all across the board. We can't close our eyes to certain things anymore. I don't think we can do that.
Oh,
We got to wake up.
that's beautiful. Every answer's been uniquely unique, and I feel really grateful to be able to talk to you about it. And thanks for your insight on that.
You're welcome.
Are you? I know you're not, but George Jones is my all-time favorite singer, and I love that your last name is Jones.
Yes, and I love George Jones too. Actually, and we actually Rod played Friday night at the hotel, and my girlfriend next door, it was her birthday, and her father-in-law. Because Rod's really good. He's kind of like, you're like, yeah, yell out a song, and I'll try to play it. So Anyway, he wanted a George Jones song, so it's funny that you're
Oh,
saying.
wow.
And Rod nailed it. Yeah, yeah. So he's definitely one of the great ones for sure.
Well, Sudbury interviews, everyone. Thank you again, Lisa, for your time and your truth and honesty with everything. I know some of those questions were a little bit difficult. And thanks for your time again tonight. It's a great pleasure for me.
You're welcome, Danny. And I guess we'll see you in a couple of weeks. You and Keith. Looking forward to it, as always.
Sounds good. Have a great night.
Okay. Okay. You too. Thanks, Danny.
Bye.